So in this video I'm going to explain why the single arm row or bent over row is a great exercise for golfers. Here we go. So if you don't know what I'm talking about by a single arm row, there's many different variations and we'll go through a few, but this is basically a single arm row, okay? So single arm row from here. So this is a great exercise for pulling strength, okay? Also working unilaterally, so especially if you're really dominant on one side than the other, this is great for improving balance from left arm, right arm, or sort of right side of the body, left side of the body. Also then great for posture, improving the positioning of the shoulder blades, really important for an efficient golf swing, good movement from the shoulders as well, also then good posture in the setup position, which then allows you again to be more efficient, maybe increase club speed, reduce your risk of injury, that sort of thing, maybe improve range of motion around the shoulders if the shoulder blades are in better position as well from this exercise. Sorry, single arm that was. So, lots of different variations depending on what you really want to train as well, so let's go through a few. So we can start off with taking a simple sort of golf posture and doing a single arm row. So here we go, feet shoulders apart, bum backwards, a little bend in the knees, okay? So what we're doing here, we're working the lower back and upper back at the same time, but also working a little bit of sort of core stability to resist any sort of rotation, resist any sort of flexing forwards, maintain this good posture throughout. Which is maybe good practice for, let's think of an example for, maybe if you're doing lots of putting practice and maintaining this position and all you want really is just a bit of movement from here. This is great practice for resisting any unwanted movements maybe in this example. So, single arm bent over row, okay, from here, making sure everything's nice and still, great for, again, into that hip hinge, good setup posture, again, good posture from the back, not flexing over, not overly extended either at the same time from here. If you want to take a little bit load off the lower back, because maybe you've done other lower back exercises, we can take a step backwards, okay? So if you imagine hip hinge, okay, step backwards, and now this makes it a little easier. You can put your hand onto your knee here as well, and do your bent over rows from here. A little bit less stress on the lower back, really okay, just making sure we've got lower body stability here, good posture, and then rowing in from this position here. Again, we can put one hand on the bench, so a slight different variation, but good cue to get into good posture. So, bum backwards, hand down in front, and then we can do the bent over row from here, a little bit more supported this time. So maybe if you wanted to go a little bit heavier, this can help. We're a little more stable in this position too. You can move one foot slightly backwards just to give yourself a bit of room as well. Again, making sure you're good posture, good positioning, nice and stable from this position. What we can then do further is do put one knee onto the bench, okay, one knee in one hand, other foot just out the way, okay, again, nice posture from here. And then single arm row. And the important thing when you're doing these single arm rows is that you're not really just trying to go with your arm up as high as you can, up as high as you can, and then pushing your shoulders coming forwards, and you're moving into this sort of position. We really want to think about the shoulder blade and pulling the shoulder blade back, okay, as we do this. So we're not really trying to go as high as we can. We're just going to pull shoulder blade back, and as we come up into this position here and then back down. So this might be as high as you come, okay, you might be a little bit further here, as long as we don't shoot the shoulder forwards as we come into this posture. Again, making sure a lot of you might set up a little bit like this to begin with. We want to make sure we're in a nice neutral spine position, okay, just like in our golf setup position. So the basic technique for the bent over row, okay, I'll show you from one knee and one hand on the bench here, is one knee, one hand on the bench, okay, other foot just out of the way for stability and balance, okay, nice straight back, so neutral spine position, not hunched over, okay, not excessively arched as well, especially not with the head up, looking in the mirror. We want to be nice and straight through the neck and through the rest of the spine here. And then from here, okay, we're going to go elbow up towards the ceiling, and then back down, so dumbbell in towards the side, and then back down. We don't really want to be aiming as high as we can, because as you see what happens here is the shoulder starts to come forwards, okay, we might lose posture as well. We want to think about the shoulder blade moving on your rib cage, okay, so as we put them backwards, it's the shoulder blade moving backwards and in, sorry. So, from here, shoulder blade in, back down. As we come back down, we don't want to go all the way to the floor and imagine, you know, the sort of shoulders coming out of its socket. We want to stay nice and controlled, okay, so down, under control, elbow up, back down, okay, shoulder blade moving on the rib cage inwards, and then back down under control, okay. Not rotating too much, okay, so you might think, oh, well, maybe that's good for golf, around a little rotation. That kind of misses the point of the exercise at this point. Maybe as a variation, you might want to do that at some point. Is if you're trying to do a bent over row and all you're doing is this, you're kind of missing the point a little bit of the exercise. Okay, really targeting the arm, back of the shoulder, shoulder blade, okay, lats as well, rather than maybe doing some sort of rotational movement with this. Obviously then doing both sides. So the bent over row, great for improving maybe posture in the upper body, great for learning to get into posture, maybe holding good posture as well, or sort of neutral spine position, great for shoulder blade movement, shoulder blade stability, pulling strength, so lats, traps, posterior deltoids, so anything around here, then down here too, maybe lower back as well for maintaining posture, depending on which variation you go for. With the single arm bent over row, and also then that sort of unilateral strength, training the left and right hand separately, okay?